Hi, everybody. This is John, First Things Foundation, founder, director, and also who, because of your largesse, is able to say this is my job. Thank you for everything you've done for us, for giving us a support system, and for taking your hard-earned dollars and allowing us to put them to use around the world, little by little. Thank you.
At First Things, our work is about connecting field workers, the people we send into the field, with local people who live in all around the world in what we would think of as tough neighborhoods in the West. So basically what our guys do is they go in and they know the culture. They learn the local language, and when they do this, they immerse. And when people immerse, and they do it right, mud huts, adobe homes, simple living at poverty level, when they do this, something happens to them. And what happens to them is they begin to learn who they are, and they can truly relate to the people they work with. Then, together, we find really amazing people who have really good ideas, and those people become our impresarios. And with those people, you can change the world. Because they're local people who want to do the right thing by their community, and they have great ideas, but nobody ever listens to them. That's our work at First Things. Find impresarios and then move resources their direction so that they can be the seeds for the change necessary in their own communities. That's what we do. And the notion is when we go to help somebody who needs my help, there's an elevation process there where suddenly you're now like, I don't know, reaching down. The real notion is that when you actually dig in and do something difficult, not because you want to help somebody, because you want to become better, what happens is that beauty and that betterness, it starts to be exuded. And so in our work, we see that sacrifice is the beginning of creation, and creation is the thing that comes out of, right, your hard work on yourself. You're leaving home for 2 years, you're living in a mud hut. And so what really is happening is there's various types of sacrifice. Those are the kind that I commit, maybe I go over and leave my family and go with, but the folks we work with, they have to sacrifice too. They do it differently. They do it within their own community. They spend time working with us, people that are unknown to them. They take risks, but they also put in all the effort for their own project, and then we support them by helping them build capacity. Finally, there's another way to sacrifice. Not everybody can go overseas. Not everybody's stuck in a tough situation trying to create a project to save their life or to help the community around them. Some people are blessed to have money. And sometimes the sacrifice that's most difficult is the one right in front of you, parting with something that is material and that has value. That's a sacrifice. That matters. And that's the beginning of a positive creation in the world, which we call small project development. So what happens to your dollar or your $10 or your $10,000? What happens? Well, fundamentally what happens is we move money, resources, people's expertise to our impresarios. Those are people who we've identified in these tough neighborhoods who have great ideas. So what happens? Well, the money goes and it's invested into the best ideas of the local community. Take Francis in Sierra Leone. We met Francis because we were on the ground and we met this young guy who would come in from outside, from a very small village to the town where we live, and we became friends. He said, you gotta come out to my village. If you don't come out to my village, then you won't be able to see this project I'm working on. It was a well project. And guess what happened? We went out. Jake went out. He took your money, got on a very, very rickety bus, went out to the village, spent many nights learning about the community, came back and figured out all the little in-betweens that were necessary for Francis's well project. And today that village has water. Where do your resources go? Where do your donations go? What happens? Well, basically there's two fruits, two flowers. One is the project on the ground that's being started, that's already in its infancy somewhere like Sierra Leone, maybe a well project with our friend Francis, or maybe Don Carlos in his textile project. That project itself will receive money as needed, and that's one fruit, and that's a beautiful fruit, because that's to the people we're serving. But the other fruit, the other beautiful flower, is that your resources will go to the people we send, Americans, whose lives are fundamentally changed by this experience, and then they come back and seed all of that stuff. They seed it back into our own communities, all of that love of service. and they become changed, not unlike the projects and how they change people locally. So 2 fruits, 2 flowers, it's pretty much always those 2 things in our work.
Does anyone else get changed?
Well, ideally, there's a 3rd person that gets changed, right? And that's you on some level. Stay close to us. We'll tell you all about where your dollar went. We're not some massive corporate foundation. We got a restaurant. We sit people at our table and come have a drink with us. That's how we roll. And hopefully this also changes you, the donor. That's the idea.